So as you can see on the top screen here, we've the aim of the last yeah, that's up on there now. The aim of the last week was to actually implement the enemy spawn systems to actually add more depth to the game base as it was. Oh sorry, am I stuttering out here? My Unity is loading and it seems to freeze everything when I do that. But basically, the aim of last week for me was to add more depth to the player and the enemy system. It was also to create a 3D. We mentioned that we didn't, although it was advertised as a vertical shooter, the game, we didn't want to be really restricted to the vertical thing. There's too many templates on the internet where you can create a vertical shooter and you drag and drop something in and you put some crappy other. I mean, there's a couple of. I hate to refer to them as competitor projects because they're not really competition. They're very one-dimensional. It's like drag your finger across the screen, pew pew pew, you're dead. That to me is not an immersive game. I'm very, very strict when it comes to like what I'll implement in a game. I'm constantly saying, no, we can't do this, John. We can't do this. It's got to be better than that. We need to do it this way, and we need to add that. And if it hasn't got that, it's not going to work. We literally, me and John are constantly like head to head. Like, well, but what about this? And I'm just like, yeah, but that's fine. But we have to add more. Add some icing. Add some sprinkles. Put a cherry on top. Everything has to be bigger. It has to be bigger and better. We don't want to settle just for the kind of, okay, we can shoot stuff, we get a high score, ta-da, you've won the game. That's not what we want to do here. We want it so that when you're playing this game, you're on the edge of your seat. You're playing the game, you're getting into it, you're getting through the first, you're only getting to level 5 or level 10 or whatever it may be, and you're getting absolutely hammered, and then all of a sudden it ticks, oh, that's the mechanic. That's what you've got to do. Right, cool. And you get back at it, and all of a sudden you're in 15 minutes in, you're at level 20 now. It's a sense of achievement. Then the boss comes down, and and it's the first time you've had a glimpse at a boss, and you're like, oh, what's this? Oh, what's happening? It's a boss. Oh my God. And you die, of course, because it's the first time you met the boss. And then, then you go back and you're constantly fighting the boss, and it might take you an hour, it might take you a week. You don't know how long it's going to take you before you can eventually get and think, damn, I've conquered it. But when you do conquer it, oh my God, bro, that's the feeling, that's what we want to play the game for. We want you to brag and say, yeah, man, I took that damn thing down with only a 2-star ship. I know what I'm doing. And remember, like, the score is very restricted based on progress. So, even, like, if you're a very, very good player, if you're a very skillful player, there's nothing to say with our ships. I mean, as we said, it was free to play as well. But there's nothing to say with our free to play system that with the base ship, you can't get past the boss. You absolutely can. It's just going to take a hell of a lot more skill to do so because the lack of shields and the lack of HP on that specific ship is going to be very unforgiving when you get hit by like a main mechanic. For example, if a bullet does 10 damage on a hull or a shield, and you get hit by 2 or 3 bullets, and your ship's only got 50 HP and 10 shields, which is what the default ship is suggested. That's kind of what we're working with right now, like 50 HP and 10 HP shields, which kind of regenerate slowly over time if you're not hit. If that's what you're working with, and you get hit by 2-3 bullets from a boss weapon, well, that's going to take like a lot of your health, half of your health. However, if you're rocking a 3-star ship with a utility buff, or you're rocking a 3-star ship, with whatever else, if you've got shield regeneration, which is an extra 10% regen, plus you've got maybe 150 HP and 100 shields, well, you can see how the survivability factor goes up exponentially, which is kind of where we get the sorry, I hate using utility when I'm talking about spaceships, but that's the utility essentially of the spaceships NFT. The spaceships NFT will give you that better ship. It will give you more resistances. It'll give you maybe even offset some of the resistances are as high as 15% resistance. There will be deficits. The general one that we're working with right now is if you get a resistance only card, it will be like, say, 10% resistance. against something. But if you're getting hit by 30, that's a 3 energy off. We might change that. We might up the resistances so it's a bit more. It's a it's a bit more noticeable. 2 seconds. I just need to. Sorry, my kids are getting excited in the background and they're playing Tippity Tap bloody Five Nights at Freddy's or whatever it is. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, right, yeah. So that's the idea. If obviously that if you've got a ship card and you've got a spaceship NFT, that will actually give you essentially more survivability. But that doesn't mean to say that a person on a base ship who hasn't spent a penny can't get past the boss. They can. It's just going to take a lot more skill to do so. And again, that's how the charts will be reflected skill wise. Right, what else was I talking about before I got distracted by my son shouting in the background? This here. So, like I said, I was stepping away from the vertical shooter. I'm just going to run this now. Right, so this was kind of what we were looking at here. You know, this was the vertical shooter. I've removed the background, guys, because we're working on something else. But what we've done now is we can actually turn around. Like, so we can follow, and you can't see now, but as you can see, it's now a 360-degree shooter. So you can chase people, you can be chased by bosses. Right now, this is just a spawn. This spawn system is literally just coming down the screen. We have no other AI built in yet. So what you're seeing is these emitters. I'll show you them here. Here are the emitters, and they're just spawning ships and sending them directly down the Z-axis. So, but obviously, when we start implementing more complex, oh, I've got collisions on that yellow ship. I shouldn't have collisions. We've got obviously rockets and stuff.
First time seeing this as well because it's just a recent update as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
so
is
everything so everything here we're just working on actually the logic of the game, the mechanics and everything. Don't worry too much about why it's not, it doesn't look a lot of graphics there, the bosses, We have that, we have that in
we
place.
took
We have
that
that
out.
yeah, auras and everything. We can't I can't wait to actually show you guys the effects and the backgrounds and everything because it's cool. Like we have a game here right now. Basically, we just have to put in more of the assets in here and change some skins, put in some monsters, and that's pretty much it. You can play the game like the demo version of the game.
It's important to
It's
know as well, guys. Like this is literally, this is literally 1 week into development. This game has
mm,
been developed for what, 9? This is the 9th day today, and I haven't done any work today. So, like, today will be the 9th day of development. We already have a world system. We already have a control system here. I'm currently working on the mobile control system, which will accompany this. So, you guys who play a mobile device can play this on a mobile platform on Android and iOS. So the emitter system, this is just essentially proof of concept, proof that we've got an enemy, proof that we can damage the enemy has HP, the enemy has a shield system, and the HP in the shield system reacts to different elements. So right now I have kinetic weapons, which are these here. These are kinetic weapons, essentially cannons. And these do kinetic damage to shields, which only do 100% damage. I say only, that's good, but still. But however, the rockets here, these rockets are actually energy rockets. So these do more damage to shields. They do 120% damage to shields, but only 80% damage to the hull. Whereas kinetic does 100% damage across the board. So you always get full damage, but you don't get any bonus damages. And as we move forward and start implementing enemies with certain affinity, elemental affinity, for example, let's say we've got like lava style enemies or slime style enemies. Well, slime will have an acid effect. So when they attack you, they'll hit you with acid attacks, which means your ship will take more damage to the hull than it will to the shields because acid essentially burns, it's corrosive, whereas shields will deflect it. But when it hits your hull, it's going to hit your hull hard. So this is where, like, when you're fighting acid minions or, God forbid, an acid boss, you're really going to feel it when your shields go down. And that's what we want. That's what we want. We want you to be very mindful of, hey, do I have any shields? Should I be fighting this boss right? Or should I be fighting that set of minions? Because even though they're just minions, if one of them hit me and I have no shields, they're doing an extra 40% damage to my shield, to my hull, which means instead of 10 damage per bullet, they're doing 14 damage per bullet. Can I really risk getting hit by 3 bullets? If you're on a base shit, that's 4 bullets are going to kill you. I mean, do you want to risk that? Or do you want to just step back a bit, wait till your shields build up, grab a bonus that's dropping in the world, wait for maybe a temporary shield buff for 30 seconds, and then hit that wave of minions? Now hit the wave, take them out quickly before the shields drop, and then you've got that little boost. And this is the thing, like, although I did talk earlier on about spaceships having very specific defensive bonuses, which, you know, if you buy an NFT for a spaceship NFT, you're going to get them bonuses on that ship all around. Obviously, it comes with that specific ship type as well. If you get like the faction for the Cova faction, for example, you'll get the Cova ship with this resilience, this defense, this not defense. I'm using defense, HP. Sorry, these shields, and then on the bottom you'll have a resistance. Now you're going to get that, but that's not the only way you can get the buffs and the defenses. That's just base. That means that ship will always have that. So whenever you pick power-ups in the game, it drops a defense bonus, and it's maybe a slime resistance bonus, and maybe it gives you 50% dampening to slime for 30 seconds. That's happens across all ships. So even with the founder, not the founder ship, but the default ship, the free-to-play ship, you will still be able to get that 50% resistance. So it's not like you can't beat these phases. It's just you've got to wait for very specific intervals to be able to attack them. Whereas when you're in a better ship, you've got more resilience. You've got better. You don't have to be as lenient with your time. You can literally go in and say, screw it, I'm going to shit a bus because I have 100 shields. So if they take my shield, I can back off and wait for my shield to regenerate. Then I can go back in again. But if I've only got 10 shield or 30 shield and I'm getting hit twice and that's knocking my shield off, like, the next step is the hull, and once the hull goes down, you know, unless you have a hull repair system or you find a lucky like a health up bonus, you're screwed, because there are certain enemy types in here that will ignore shields altogether. So if you get hit by something that ignores shields and they kill your ship, it doesn't matter if you've got 150 shield or not, you're dead. If your ship's dead, then your shields don't work. So that's another kind of factor we're playing with later as well. But I think I went very deep into it there, right?
Yeah, I think next week there's gonna be more progress actually.
Oh, visually,
especially,
definitely. Yeah,
yeah,
visually.
especially yeah, we'll do like a live stream just mainly focusing on the progress of Space Guardian next week, and we'll show you guys the different effects for the guns, the auras, and all that stuff. Just a preview of
You
it, and I think
guys are gonna love that.
yeah, and also the potential background as well, the bosses as well, and everything. I really can't wait to show you guys that. It's gonna be
Yeah.
amazing.
We actually wanted to squeeze it all in today, but I was like, no, we can't do that. Not just yet, bro. Let's just, yeah, don't
Like,
give them
you know,
everything.
the bullet effects and everything. Oh my god, man, that's
Yeah,
that's amazing.
I mean, we've already, like, to be honest, guys, we have already developed the bullet systems. We've already got the fancy, like, the what we will call production bullets. They're already there. We've already got them developed. We haven't implemented them for a good reason, Chico, because we're jumping too far ahead. But
How about the battle music as well? It's one thing as well.
yeah, we got
Someone
battle
asked.
music as well.
Yeah, we've got that sorted. Yeah, we've got the bullet sound effects and the background music. Everything we have it.
We literally
Oh
have
man,
all of the assets for the game themselves.
just the mechanics that we're trying to build now. To be honest, that's all
Well,
really.
there's core systems that essentially, like, the actual. I would say for me, my kind of in development over the next week, my time is going to be prioritized for the following things. We want to get the visuals in place because we really want to show off like what it's going to look like when you're actually playing our game. We know to you guys, it doesn't matter if we've got control sticks on the screen. It doesn't matter if, you know, we've got a leaderboard. Who gives a crap? You're not on a leaderboard right now. What you want to see is how fun's this game going to be to play, right? And our best way to show you that and to showcase that is for us to put these bullets on the screen, is to show you these fancy auras, is to show you the 3D model for the ship, you know, is to do these things that to us they seem very trivial because we can implement them relatively quickly. And like to us, it's not really like me personally. When I'm developing, I feel more inclined to work on the control systems, to work on the mobile stuff and the back end of it, the server connection, the network. But when we advertise that to you guys and potential new investors, that's not appealing to them. They don't give a crap about the network inside of it in the back. They don't give a crap about the anti-cheat system. What they care about is the visuals. What can I see and what can I play? Show me what it's going to look like.
Oh,
And
it's
that's
user experience. Yeah, user
exactly.
experience. Yeah, it is.
So if we can show off a little bit and, you know, puff our chests up next week, flex a bit of bicep and say, this is the bullets, these are the shields, you know, this is the 3D modeling system. Here's an example of a, you know, elemental fight off, you know, good against bad, light against dark, or frost against fire. You know, if we can do that, you guys are going to be a lot more excited, right? I mean, you know, you get to see this stuff happening live on
It's like,
screen.
yeah, it's a game that's streamable on Twitch. Basically, it's someone people can enjoy and people can interact and play.
Yeah,
It's gonna be fun compared to
yeah.
what we had before, the Everwing, copy game. This is something unique and it's something that no one has ever done before. Basically, it's DefVerse game. That's what
I've
it
got
is.
to be honest with you. I've never like me because obviously I'm the game guru here, and like I've never like I know there are games in history like Asteroids, for example, where you
Mm.
controlled with a joystick and it spun around, but then you push forward, and it was really bloody awful to play. If I'm honest, like, it was so freaking difficult. I used to die all the time. That was a good old Atari ST game, and we're going back 30 years now. But like when I think of things the way we're controlling it, almost like we're controlling it almost like Terra Online. If you've ever played Terra Online, or if you play, you know, like not even League of Legends, it's literally it's like a 3D RPG system, control system, but it's not. We're using the kind of the up, down, left, right on the left stick to move around the world as you would in strafe left to right. But the right and the left, it's like Call of Duty essentially, but with a spaceship. It's
Mm.
Call of Duty with a spaceship, and we're just on
Yeah.
a top down view. I mean, essentially, I could actually quite easily turn the camera into a third person or a first person view, and it would be Call of Duty in a spaceship. I mean, that's essentially what it would be. But obviously, it's, you know, it's not as fancy as Call of Duty because Call of Duty is a AAA title, and you know, not to disrespect Activision or anyone like that, but you know, essentially the game style and the control style is what I'm trying to get at. The control style is essentially like Call of Duty. You got the same type of functionality on your control, which is what we're in for. I think that's going to add a massive like amount of depth to the style of game we can do. Along with the background, we're changing the background system slightly, and we'll develop the background system over time. But in order to get a solid release, a solid demo in the next like 3 to 4 weeks for you guys to actually have a little play around with, we really need to focus on core things like a control system. We don't even need to work with networking just yet. An anti-cheat system, of course, because we don't want people cheating, and then we need things like obviously the fancy graphics, the shields, and a UI as well. Right now, there's no UI, as you can see, but we're going to have health bars for our spaceships, health bars for our enemy spaceships and our minions. So as you go in, you'll get to see exactly what's got what health. Maybe it's even the health bars as well will glow the color of the affinity of that minion. So you know, if it's glowing red, you know it's a fire minion. If it's glowing purple, you know it's a void minion. So you know, basically you'll learn to kind of pick up the colors and what type of damage their minions do. So not only do you have to work with attack mechanics, and obviously defense mechanics and like strategy, but you also have to take into consideration affinity. What kind of crap are they going to shoot at me? If they're going to hit me with slime, you know, acid again, then we know that does massive damage to hull, so we need to be really careful. If they hit me with frost, we know they're going to slow me. and there's a big wave of like, there's a mini boss there, and there's a big wave of like fire coming in. If I get slowed down by this damn slowing thing, I'm gonna be screwed. So you either choose to take it out now, or you strategically repattern yourself. You move yourself around and attack them from a different vector later on. Again, it's going to be very, very. It's going to be based upon like how do you want to play it. Strategy is key here. You can't just go gung-ho in and fighting everything and you've got 4 different types of bloody minions on the screen, because now you've got 4 status effects. You've got slow, you've got damage over time, the slime's eating away at your hull, you've got the dark, which is voiding your shields. You're screwed. I mean, you're going to die. The best way for you to do it would be to strategically place yourself. So you took out one affinity type. Okay, we know that the most damaging type in this case for me is going to be slime, for example, because I've got no shields left. So let's go take out the slime first, dodge them. Oh crap, here comes the frost ones. Let's back off a bit. Okay, right, they've reset themselves. Let's go back and take the rest of the slime out and then tackle the frost, making sure the fire don't aggro, because if fire aggro, then you're going to have to deal with the frost and fire at the same time, and you don't want that. Frost slow you down, fire hit you with damage over time, you're as good as dead. And remember, some of the fire minions will actually leave area of effect like fire clouds and stuff. So when they do, I'm telling you too much here, but when they do that, like you're gonna be screwed. It is, yeah. It's kind of I know everything that's going on here, but I'm trying not to give you too much. It's going to be super exciting, guys. It's going to be nothing like you've seen before. And if you have seen this before, when it's been released, please send me the damn title name, because I'd love to compare the game against it. Because right now, I've scoured and scoured for spaceship games. And, things like EVE Online, way, way, way bigger than what this will be. Elite Dangerous, different type, third person, first person cockpit style, bit more Call of Duty-ish for the spaceships. So again, can't really be compared to our game. Then you compare us to like vertical shooters, which are traditional arcade ones, Space Invaders, and then we're between Space Invaders and Call of Duty. That's the best way for us to put it. We're kind of middleman, and in that middle field here, there's not really much with a 360-degree system and the elemental stuff that I'm talking about, plus the mini boss and the boss system and the multiplayer options. To my knowledge, there is not a system like that out there, and that's what we're going to bring to you with Space Guardians.
Yeah, I can't wait for that, especially next week when we show off all of those effects. That's going to be very interesting for everyone, especially that we are an NFT project. And we're gonna be releasing like those special ships as well, Founders Edition ships and all those. It's gonna be insane. Yeah. So there's a lot of questions actually that needs to be answered here. So Hycron, how do you earn from this game? Is it okay to play on iOS? Yes, you are able to play on iOS, Android, and also on desktop. Value of the token. So the rewards. So she's talking about like the rewards they're gonna get from playing, like as we mentioned from our last AMA. You can only earn the rewards if you have the character the character's NFT, which obviously it's you'll have to basically fight for your place on the leaderboards, where you are able to will be able to distribute the rewards every month, or let's say every week to the top players. So we are kind of moving.
Sorry, Chico, I'm just going to interrupt you there quickly. We were talking about a battle pass system with Vambi, because Vambi did tell us like that battle pass systems are really good, and I think you guys will agree. So the actual leaderboards will probably be paid out on the same schedule as the battle pass validity. Because it would coincide. So it would be a seasonal thing. Just think Call of Duty, think Apex Legends, think Fortnite. Do you have your Battle Pass seasons? So that could be 28 days, could be 60 days, whatever it may be. The tournament, the leaderboards will reflect that period. And the rewards for the leaderboards will reflect the money earned in that period. So if we take, for example, $100,000, and we say 30% of that's rewarded towards the leadership pool, then we would say there's $30,000 in that battle pass season, we'll have sold battle passes as well. So maybe as we say 50% of all battle pass money goes to that as well. So it'll be the pool of money available for the tournament rewards and the leadership rewards, rewards will be completely dependent on how much we sold there and how much we made here. And obviously we will put an X amount of percent into that central pool, and we'll say this time, we haven't set a kind of a date yet, but let's say we say 60 days. We'll say, right, okay, season 1 lasts 60 days. Okay, so when we do that, that's the same schedule as our NFTs, which we release every 60 days. We do them every 8-week period. So say 60 days. We have a new seasons of NFTs. So season 3 NFTs will come out for the characters. Now, if we put the battle pass that to coincide with that same time frame, then whatever we've earned from there, 30% goes there. Whatever we earn from the battle pass, cosmetics, tax system, and all of these different revenue streams that we have, we filter some money into that. At the end of that, we'll say, okay, our pot of money is $65,000. And out of that $65,000, the top 60% of the leaderboards will be paid. We don't want all these redundant accounts, people playing for a day and not logging in, getting rewarded. Why should they get rewarded? We want you guys who want to play the game, enjoy the game, be competitive, and you don't have to be fantastic. You don't need to have 5-star founders cards and 5-star ships and 5-star utility systems. You don't need any of that. You can play with just a character NFT and a base ship. You don't even have to have a fancy spaceship. It just helps get further. Think of it like Axie Infinity, guys, in the way Axie Infinity plays. I'm sure a lot of you guys are already familiar that if you don't have a good team in Axie Infinity, good luck getting anywhere near 2k MMR or 1,800 MMR. It's impossible because you're fighting people around about the 1,200, 1,400 range, and you got trash Axies. Let's be honest. You're dealing with trash Axies. You haven't got a meta team, and unless you've got a meta team, you're not going to get kind of up there. We didn't want to have that type of that much of a gap between the ability to earn and earn well. So although you will likely find the 4, 5-star, 3-star card holders with a ship NFT and a utility right at the top of the leader because they have the most chance. However, that doesn't necessarily mean they're the most skillful players. That just means they have a good setup. And you can have a mediocre player or a trash player with really good cards sitting in the top 10%. But you could also have somebody with a default ship, or maybe it's just a 1-star ship with a 1-star, kind of utility like shield regeneration, and they could be sitting in the same 10% bracket as well. So it's important for us that when we deal with balancing the game and the strengths and the weaknesses and the difference between if you have this, you can do this, and if you don't have this, you can't do this. We want to make sure that that grey area there is not miles apart. We don't want it having you. If you have a spaceship NFT, you're definitely guaranteed top 20%. But if you don't have one, you're guaranteed you're not going to get past the bottom 30%, because that's not fair. We don't want that. We want this to be based on your skill level, on your ability to play this game. That's what's more important to us. Money is great, and giving us money or making more money allows us to give more money. That's fantastic. However, it's very important we don't get lost in the idea that this is a game and we're here for fun, and making money or earning from the game is second to enjoying the game. Okay, that's the most important thing for me.
User experience, yeah. That's what we are trying to to get our point across, is for you to actually enjoy the game. And the bonuses is basically for people who enjoys the game, who wants to be more competitive, which you will get the rewards from from our pool. It's something we are trying to stay away from the NFT staking and the play to earn mechanics from last year. And as most of you know, the play to earn features of all of the NFT games before are basically it's not relevant anymore. It's dead. So we are trying to reevaluate our project, and we've actually did a lot of changes within our white paper to kind of fix the whole economy and how we're able to sustain our project in the coming in the future, basically. So it's a good thing. It's a really really good thing for us. And it's not we're not going to be limiting you as well from selling your NFTs. We have our marketplace where you can flip the NFTs. You can hold your limited edition NFTs. Wait for a couple of months, sell it, make extra money from that. Because as we mentioned, we're only going to be releasing NFTs like limited edition and then first edition limited supply of NFTs every 8 weeks, basically. So that's something, and our artists are actively making new artworks, new characters, new spaceships every day. So for the next when the battle pass ended, that's when we release the new sets of NFTs for you guys to buy. So it's not gonna be like it's not like you can buy unlimited amount of characters. It's gonna be limited only. But I think for the spaceships, we are you can buy as much, you can open as much packs as you want, but you will also still need the characters to play it. But you can flip it. Yeah, you can flip it. You can do that.
Yeah, the thing of characters is it's the build, it's the foundation. Whenever we're talking about money, you need a character. You need that kind of thing. Buying the spaceship and the utility and that's fine. You can actually use them in the free to play game with the the spaceship and the utility and and the vanity ones, the collector's cards, and you can have them in the free to play game. But really, I mean, the way we see it, that's all good. It's all fine and dandy. But when you're playing multiplayer against people, everyone wants to show off. In League of Legends, League of Legends make their money off skins. Literally, they don't. The money comes from the capsules they sell and the skin shards and all of this stuff that they sell. They're selling new skins for Jinx, new skins for Yasuo, new seasonal skins for this. That's how they make their money. And essentially, this is kind of what we're seeing here as well. Although we're not the only people making money from this, you guys can flip them. Like Chico said, that there will be the ability to buy say 3 and get 1 free. Although we did try to implement a system where you could buy 3 for like 20% discount, we found that the contract didn't facilitate that very well. So what we're looking to do, and pretty much in all of our cards, apart from, I don't think we're doing any collectors, because collectors, why would you buy 4 of them? It makes no sense. But with regards to the utility, the spaceship and the character NFTs, it's very likely that we'll have buy 3 get 1 free. So when you buy 3, we'll automatically give you the 4th one free. That's good because we already have people that have invested like in 10 NFTs, 12 NFTs. Now they don't have to worry about the 20%. Did I get my 20% off? Now, when they buy 3, we will already know that wallet address bought 3. It's very important when I say this as well to understand, guys, this is a feature going forward, not going back. This is not something that, I've got 10, do I get 3 free? That's not how it works. This is something we plan to implement in the next month or so. So when you do actually buy them, you will honor it from this date forward. So if you buy NFTs today, for example, then if you bought 3 of them, then we would honor that 1 free. Anything before today, before this announcement, that will not be honoured because that was not part of the system. Today is when it's changing. Also, Jigo, are we talking about the price?
The price, do you want to talk about that now or do you want to announce that?
Is it live now?
Well, it is. I've changed it, but I haven't actually announced it to everyone yet.
Right. Well, I mean, let's do it live straight from the horse's mouth. We'll give it to you straight. Let's go.
Well, you can show the tavern right now and
we'll put the tavern up. So basically, what we did was we understand it's a bit of a bearish market still, and we, like we said, it's actually good for us because we don't mind. Like people are going, oh, this is bad, this is bad. Yes and no, because right now, remember, we're still in development, which means for us, if we had a fully polished game and we were trying to push the marketing on it, then we could be considered as bad because it's like, oh crap, we're getting hit at such a bad time. And there are a lot of projects out there feeling the burn right now. We're not feeling the burn because right now we don't we're creating our game still. We don't have the finalized product, which means we don't need the revenue right now. We haven't signed up huge deals with anyone. We don't have angel investors to impress. Again, one of the biggest selling platforms and the selling issues of this platform, selling points, sorry, is that we don't have angel investors, we don't have venture capitalists, and as far as like we can see for our forecast, we don't think we'll ever need them, hopefully. And if that's the case, then that returns that money that we would pay to Mr. Smith in bloody New Zealand, who invested $100,000 in the project but wants 20% in return. Like, no, that's not fair. We want to give that 100,000 to you. We want to give that 20% to you. Why should we give it Mr. Smith in New Zealand? So we're not going to do that. Right, okay. What am I showing them? I got sidetracked.
So Tavern.
Tavern, right, okay, yep, so can I just show off my cards first? Right. So here's obviously an example of the cards. These are my personal cards. This is a shield. I actually can't believe I got in a shield, by the way. This is like the only card. The Founders Edition, guys, just so you know, like, the Founders Edition, as CEO and founder, we obviously get one of these cards anyway. But this 4-star card was actually a total random pull. Randomized 4-star. Couldn't believe it. Was like, yeah, that's out of this world. That's crazy. I've seen people just get 1 stars, 2 stars, 1 stars, 4 stars. But this was a pretty cool pull. But getting back to the Tavern, yeah, crazy. That was crazy, look. Yeah. On the Tavern, we've now reduced the price to 55 USD, in line with the whitelisting that we did beforehand. Now, I know that might be met with a little bit of skepticism or like questions like, well, why should it be $55 when that was the whitelisting price? Well, because we have to adjust based on the market. Now, we could have, to be honest, it was my suggestion to actually put it at $50, but that would have undercut the whitelisting special promo, so that's kind of unfair. What I need to remind you guys who did participate in the Arrow, the whitelisting, sorry, the Bitcoin whitelisting for the Arrow card, is that you got a higher chance of getting a 4-star and a 5-star card. Okay, the 5-star system we had a bit of an issue with, which we will be releasing Arrow for sale and at a reduced price. I believe we were talking about reducing the price slightly for that, Chico, for the Arrow.
Yeah.
Because our Bitcoin sold $150, and that's what kind of that was the price we were going to sell all of our Founders cards at. However, in light of the kind of the hiccup with the system and the Arrow odds, we're looking to reduce that just for everyone. I mean, there's only a certain amount of them anyway, for everyone, in order to kind of apologize for the hiccup in the system. But that's the Arrow card. We're talking about now about these cards here. These have the standard rate, so there is still 4 stars in this pool, right? Is Arrow still in this pool?
Yeah, Arrow's still in this pool.
Right. Do you know the?
Yeah.
It's 10. Right. Is it a 10% chance like the old style? So we got a 10% chance to get a 4-star or a 5-star card. Is that still the same process?
It's just 10% mixed together. So let's say, so there's 10% chance of getting either Arrow or the other 6 legendaries.
Right, so basically there's about a 1.3 or 1.4% chance of getting Arrow. Right, okay, 1.4%, which is fine because it's a Founders card. But there will also be an opportunity for you guys to buy the Arrow card. If you absolutely want it and you don't want to play with the odds here, we'll be selling the Arrow card as well. If you buy 3 of these guys, we will automatically give you a 4th. There will be a claim link, so if you do buy 3 of them, make sure you go to the claim link to get your 4th card for free, which will credit to your wallet, and it'll be a randomized credit to your wallet, and then you can. We'll do that. Do we do that from server side, or do we?
Yeah, we'll do that from the server side. We'll mint it and then send it to them randomly.
Yeah, so we don't have anything minted, guys. Everything's generated. So when you get your free token, we will generate that token, and it'll be randomized completely, and we'll send whatever card that was across to your account. And again, that could be a Founders card, it could be a 1-star card. It doesn't matter. Like, it's the same chances you got when you open them. So that was it. That was a big update. With regards to the kind of the IGO and the actual card pricing structure. It's important again to note that right now, we're still in demo stages and stuff, so it's not essential. However, obviously you guys are supporting the project, so if you do choose to do that, then we do appreciate it. It helps us out a lot with our development and our assets and stuff, so we can get more creative in time
Yeah,
for the actual
like
launch.
yeah, like the community is actually, if you're buying it, then basically you are helping the community, sorry, the project grow as well, because we need those funds to pay the developers, the artists. Nothing, we're not getting paid from this. And I'm also investing my own personal money to keep the project going as well.
Yeah,
So, if you buy from the tavern, it means that you are supporting the project's health as well and moving forward. So, we really appreciate all of the support, especially from our whitelisting event as well. You guys are like the real MVP for participating in that event. It made us continue the project and go forward and pay the artists, plan, download the softwares and stuff that we need to develop the game. So, we appreciate each and every one of you guys, especially
yeah.
to the OG holders as well. So yeah. So someone's asking, do you need is the character NFT and the spaceship is going to be a different sale?
Yeah.
So as we mentioned before, you need the character NFT to be able to actually earn money from it. But then we're gonna be doing another sale for just for the spaceships. Obviously, it's not gonna be the same cost as the character NFTs.
No, no.
Uh, it's not. But when you buy a character NFT, you will receive a default chip, so you can start earning money from just buying the NFT that you can see here right now on our tavern. Um, sorry. So yeah,
Sorry, I stopped you there. That everyone will receive the default chip regardless of whether or not you have the character NFT, guys. Sorry, just to correct you there. The default chip will be the part of the game. So whether you're free to
mhm.
play or you have a character card and you've got the default chip, you will still be able to for reward. Sorry, play for reward with the default chip. As a character card. The benefits of having another spaceship is the improved defenses, the HP, and the shields. That stuff there, the default ship will, let's say, for example, have 50 HP and only 10 shield, which can regenerate, after when you don't get hit for a while. Whereas the actual other ships, the 1 star, 3 star, 3 star, up to a 5 star ship, will have much higher base stats, and they'll come with a randomized resistance. So you will basically have a randomized resistance on their like attribute. You'll also have a much higher base shields and HP. That's kind of, I mean, I can pull that up quickly and show them, Jigo, because it's in the devlog
uh,
here. I'll just show you
yeah.
guys. So this is kind of what we started with. Again, this could be subject to change if we decide it's not enough or it's too much, whatever it may be. But just to give you guys, this is the devlog. You guys can look. It's open source anyway. So basically, here we have the spaceship NFTs, and basically, if you got a base ship, right, we only have like 50 HP and 10 shields. This is the numbers we're working off right now. However, say you got a random card and you got a 3 star, you've now got between 150 and 200 HP, plus between 100 and 150 shield. That compared to 50 HP and 10 shields is huge. You can have up to quadruple the health and up to Jesus 150%. Sorry, 1500% more shields. So you can see why people might, especially competitively, as we go into like 1v1s tournaments, or as we go into kind of higher end of the leaderboards, you could see why people might want to buy a ship. And as Chico said, these ships don't cost $55. Like, the reason we got the $55 character cards is because we're giving you access to things like the lottery system for 90 days, where you're getting random people with a character card within the last 90 days. We'll get, we've got a millionaire lottery for the 4 star and 5 star holders, as well as a standard lottery, which will be drawn every week or month. We're going to set the rate soon, and that will be on top of the millionaire lottery if you have a 4 star or a 5 star founders card.
So the character NFTs have more use cases that you can actually utilize. For example, like for the character NFTs, you can, as we mentioned, for the lottery, for raffles, and for you can also have badges as well. For example, like the founders edition cards, you can receive all those benefits from it. Like access to whitelisting events as well for founders edition cards and all that, good stuff.
That's it. But that's That's them as well. I'm actually yeah. So I've just got the elements. These are the elements we're working with at the moment, guys. So we've got. I got a little bit lost in myself. I started with kinetic energy and explosive, and I was like, well, we could probably work with magnetic. And then I was like, but what about fire and ice? And then fire and ice went to like acid, earth, storm, void, dark, and light. So, I mean, these are like literally what you'd find in a traditional, apart from the kinetic energy and explosive, you'd find like these in a traditional RPG. And because we're we're adopting the RPG style, first person shooter style system, like our game kind of pulls from a lot of different genres. It pulls from the kind of the FPS style control system from like Call of Duty and Fortnite and Apex, alongside the top-down vertical shooter view of like the traditional arcade systems. But it also introduces elements from the RPG genre as well. So like we're using a bit of a mashup of these, what I'd consider the best parts of each kind of genre, and we're putting them into this one game. The good thing about this is it actually opens up in future for the ability to increase, like do kind of in-game drops, to do like loot systems, to do, we can actually start implementing even more RPG elements to the game at a future date if we choose to go that direction. So essentially just leaves a lot of doors that we can open by implementing these specific systems, having it on Android free to play as well as pay to play, play for reward. It literally doesn't restrict us. We haven't got a noose around our neck saying we can't do this because, well, actually we can, because we've already implemented these systems. So going forward, it allows us to broaden the scope of the project if we choose to do that.
Mm.
And do we have any more questions?
Who are your docs members? You can find it on our Gitbook actually. It's on our website. So when you visit our website, you'll just have to click the wiki, and then you'll find all of our team members, our core team there.
We're still right now. We're still updating. We've got the pitch deck. Sorry, not the pitch deck. Is the pitch deck the white paper? Sorry, the white paper. I keep getting my terminology wrong.
How
We've got
about
the
you
white
have?
paper.
Yeah. Someone's asking, how about you have between card? The ship is different, or it's also default? It's
Right,
gonna be a
so
default,
yeah,
for.
because that wasn't sold as part of the package. Like when the Bitwin Space Guardians wasn't even developed, like when Bitwin was sold. So just because you have Bitwin, you shouldn't, it doesn't necessarily mean you should get a special ship. There will be founders versions of ships as well as kind of like anything, and they will obviously attract a higher value because of that. They will have specialized stats because remember, 5-star ships come with 5-star bonuses. So there will be founder ships as there will be founder utility systems, but there will be very limited amounts of them. Our utility and spaceship systems won't have a limit on how many can be bought. So unlike the 5,000 every 8 weeks per edition, the spaceships and the utility systems won't be restricted in that way. They will have essentially say 10 types of utility, and we'll have maybe I don't know, say we've got 10 types of ship or 6 types of ship. They can be bought and they'll be randomized. Of course, when you buy one, you don't know what ship you're going to get, so you might get the draconic ship. Okay, I've got draconic ship, it's red, it does this, and it comes with just the draconic ship. In future releases, we might actually have like multi-packs, or so we might have like a kind of a set system where we say, okay, well, you'll get a collector's card, a utility card, a spaceship card, and a character card for X amount of dollars, and maybe that's,
Yeah,
I
so
don't
it's
know.
all in the pack. It's already
Yeah,
there
so
for you.
you'll buy a
Yeah.
pack essentially, and when you get it, that's exactly what you'll get. Like there'll be no randomization there apart from the stats that you'll receive, of course, because stats are always random. But when it comes to the actual things you're going to get, you can buy, like if you want to be an angel, for example, and you want the angel spaceship with bloody, I don't know, like angel bullets, then we might have a pack that is released like that. Host of Angels thing, you're going to get Ashiel, you're going to get the Ashiel spaceship, the Host of Angels spaceship, you're going to get the light aura, and you're going to have that's going to have like a light damage bullet, which is going to give you more damage against dark enemies, for example.
And some companions as well. You
Yeah,
can
and
get that.
companions as well, which is going to be part of our collector's system.
It's between 4 star. Between is a 5 star card. It's a founders
Yeah.
edition. Yeah.
All founders are 5 star. We don't have 5 stars, but if it's got founders written on it, it's a 5 star system. It's a 5 star card.
And don't worry, guys, if you have to buy the new Founders Edition spaceships and all. The Founders Edition holders will receive like a whitelisting event, and you'll be able to get it for a discount as well. So, whoever gets if you have the arrow between, you will get a lot of benefits from just holding it. Just like Space Impact. Is it possible to sell? Is it possible the special ships can be sold in your marketplace? Yes, you are able to sell your spaceships on our marketplace and on our secondary marketplace, such as Tofu NFT, or maybe at that time we'll even apply for Binance NFT.
Yes. Onwards and upwards. Sky's the limit, guys. Again, like
So yeah, Gareth, Nobita is asking how to improve that ship. Do we need to buy UP ups for the ship, like upgrades?
no. So like the ships themselves, the reason you buy the ships is you buy them for the base stats, guys. The emphasis is on base stats, okay? The inherent like default values you will have for a ship, the starting point. All of the upgrades that will come, like especially when you're playing the game, will drop randomly as events. Like a canister will float, or you'll destroy an enemy, and as an enemy destroys, it might drop a buff for 30 seconds, which will like reinvigorate your hull, or it will strengthen your shields, or it will give you an elemental affinity, like your shield will turn red, and you'll have a fire shield for like 30 seconds, and you might be against frost enemies. Frost enemies. So when frost enemies hit the fire shield, actually 2 seconds. I've got to remember the bloody affinity thing. So fire beats earth beats water, and water beats fire. No, so if you got hit by earth enemies, for example, people with like earth attacks, well then they'll do a lot less damage to you. They'll do maybe like even less than half the damage. So what you do is, this is part of the strategy when playing. You're going to be strategically going around waiting for certain buffs to drop. You know that the next set of minions or the next wave of enemies, like you've went up because remember, these enemies are not like waves that spawn and then they come at you and then they disappear. It's not that type of system. Think of it more like World of Warcraft. There's boars there, and there's wolves there, and there's rock elementals there, and there's a mini boss there. You're going to know where these things are on the map, and when you go into the regions, they're going to start to kind of come towards you because you've aggroed them essentially. And when they aggro, obviously they're going to chase you, but if you move away, then they're going to kind of de-aggro and go back to where they were floating in space. So you can essentially strategically like go around in that RPG style, that MMORPG style, where you can go, right, okay, I know them bloody wolves chased me, or that flying bloody green gooby monster thing chased me. I'm going to go back and fight that when I get some resistance to slime. So you'll go back, you pick up that slime power up, or that shield. Right, I've got 30 seconds. You fly back to the slime monster and do the best you can do against it, because you have that bonus. So the upgrades, no. The utility, however, the utility things like the regeneration and the hull dampeners and the hull hardness, and things like ship speed, all these other, I've got it again, they're in the devlog, but the initial ones, I'll just go back to them because I think it's important we point them out. 2 seconds, Chico. Right, yeah, so if I go back to the browsing here, so the initial kind of what would you say, utility bonuses what we think about implementing are these. So if I just go to up here, sorry guys, I've got to screen through. Yeah, so you can see here, these are like the initial ones that we were looking at. So we said like shield regeneration would give you plus shield recovery. So how fast your shields regenerate. Shield strength would be the maximum damage, the maximum shields would be increased. So if you had 100, maybe you got plus 30% shield strength. So now you'd have 130 if you use that utility. Hull hardness is defense and HP, so your initial resistances might be increased by 10% or 15%, as well as more HP. So maybe you got a plus 20% HP modifier. So if you had 150, you'd now have 180 HP if you use the hull hardener kit. The repair kit is actually plus HP recovery, so when you're flying around and getting hit, every 30 seconds or every 2 minutes or whatever it may be, you can heal yourself for 30 HP. So, and remember, that's very important, guys, because HP determines your ship's survivability. You can have as much shields as you like, but if you get hit by a void, which bypasses the shields entirely, well, then you're only dealing with your hull, which means one shot with 10 HP, you're dead. So it doesn't matter if you've got 300 shields, you're dead, because void avoid the actual the shields altogether. So that's obviously these repair kits. This is where it would be strategic to use a repair kit. You've got ship speed modifiers, which just give you agility and maybe a quick rocket boost or something just to get you out of harm's way very quickly with a medium cooldown. Bullet modifiers plus so elemental bullets. So you can get elemental bullets from the drops as well, guys, but these would give you the ability to have constant elemental bullets. So you might have fire bullets constantly. You can pick up other modifiers that would change them, but this would start the game with fire bullets and keep it if you didn't have any other modifier like collected whilst you were in the game. Shield modifier is exactly the same, and then finally companions, which would be things like eventually when we drop stuff, because we will eventually, I'd imagine, have things like drops and for experiences, or I don't know, collect X amount of parts for this and then you'll get a specific collector's NFT for free, things like collecting shards essentially. That's what kind of loot there would be. You need like a vanity pet to collect that. Without a vanity pet you wouldn't be able to collect them shards, therefore not get the collector's NFTs, the free ones. You have CC pets, pets that give you kind of a last stand option. So if you got one shot by the enemy or if you got killed, it would revive you temporarily or revive you with 10% shields and 10% health. That would be a pet, one of the companion functions. Luck rates, so like drop rates for shards and stuff. Again, it's just loot drop rates. XP boosters, if you want more XP to increase the right now, actually, XP comes later because we're not implementing XP on the ships themselves. We're just using scoreboards. But later on, we might allow progression of your actual system, of your account, and with that will be an XP system attached to it. The XP system might also relate to the battle pass progression as well. So if you're playing and you get X amount of XP per minute for fighting, and then based on your score you get X amount added towards the battle pass XP, well then maybe this XP booster will increase the rate at which you gain that XP. That was massively long-winded. I'm sorry, but that's essentially what they do.
Are the spaceship NFTs upgradable, like the character NFTs? Are we gonna do that? Are we gonna make them? Yeah, the spaceship NFT. So, for example, our character NFTs, you can fuse the level 1, 2, and 3 to create the level 4.
Yes. All of our systems will be like that. Even our utility systems will be like that. So you'll be able to take like a 1, 2, and 3 of shield regeneration, for example, and make a 4-star shield regeneration, which will give you a much bigger, let's say, hypothetically, we haven't like rolled the numbers out yet, but let's say 1-star gives you 10%, 2-star gives you 20, so on and so forth, up to 50% for a founder's shield regeneration. Now, if you had the 4-star one, then obviously you're going to get 40%. So it might be worth taking 2 1-stars and a 2-star, or even 2 3-stars and a 1-star, and making a 4-star, because you're going to get 40% shield regeneration now instead of. And it's plus 40% regeneration. Remember, if you've got a base ship that's got X amount of regeneration on it, oh, actually, no, maybe it will have. I'm not sure. We haven't, again, guys, we're talking implementation of these spaceship things, which we haven't actually wrote down yet, but this is the anticipated direction in which we hope to take the game. So, maybe right now, the spaceships themselves, they come with HP, which is essentially hull. They come with defense, which is essentially elemental resistance or weaknesses. And then they come with shields. Maybe as part of that shield there is a regeneration, or there's a chance to get a basic regeneration thing in there. What the utility do is give you specific regeneration values. So if you have 100 shield and you use a 3-star regeneration thing, then you will have a 30% regeneration every X amount of seconds. So let's say for argument's sake, let's say it's 10 seconds. Okay, now you will have 30 HP, 30 shield regenerated every 10 seconds that you haven't been hit, which allows you to build your shields back up and go back into the fight and fight them off again. Any more questions?
What about Captain Caddy? Will he have a different spaceship? So Captain Caddy is a collector's edition.
It's a vanity.
So Yeah, it's vanity. So if you own the Captain Caddy, maybe we can implement something like you can reskin a ship, like let's say your default skin. You can by owning the Captain Caddy, it's gonna reskin your ship and turn it into maybe a Captain Caddy ship or
Just
something.
a prettier ship, yeah. It's not going to have any benefits like other than the visual aesthetics.
So it's like a skin basically. You're reskinning the spaceship based
Yeah.
on what you purchased from our collector's edition.
The problem with the
What else?
reskin is it's going to be actually a ship, because if you have a cover ship, which is kind of the bird type of thing or whatever that is, that the draconic ship perhaps, is that draconic?
Iconic.
It's a
Yeah.
draconic.
Wait.
Yeah, so you've got the
Yeah.
one that we used in the example here. I
Yeah.
think that's a draconic ship. So if you have a draconic ship, but Captain Keddy might be in this kind of little bubble thing, for example. So you wouldn't be having a skin. It would be actually a new ship, but you would only inherit the stats that you had from the spaceship you equipped. So if you had a
Yeah.
5-star spaceship equipped,
Yeah.
you'd get all the HP, defense, and resistances with the Captain Keddy skin.
And the attributes as well, and the bullets will obviously, we can reskin the bullets as well, but it's gonna be the same effect as the cover ship. It's literally just skinning. That's all really.
Yeah, yeah, we're just prettifying it.
So there will be a fusion system in your spaceship. Yes, there will be. We've already mentioned that. Will the game be difficult enough to encourage players to upgrade their NFTs 4 or 5 star?
Yes, absolutely. That's the whole point. We want people, and remember, guys, some investors are going to come in, and we expect it, we hope for it, to be fair. Some people are going to come in and dump stupid money into this game. And that's what we want. You want that as well, because when they dump money, it means they're opening themselves to scholarships. Some people might not want to, but you're going to find people like, for example, myself. I don't want to play Axie Infinity, but I still have 20 Axies. I don't want to play it, so I let other people play it. That's the same thing for them. They want to get these good accounts, because remember, when they get into these accounts, they're taking a split of whatever you earn in that leaderboard. The scholarship system is going to be a massive part of this platform, and the best thing about it is we manage it all in house, taking away the complexities and the pain, the idea that you can get scammed. Well, you can't get scammed, because we're going to actually send the money directly to you. When you
Mm.
link with a manager under a scholarship program, you will agree the rates there and then. You'll also agree a minimum term, and you'll also agree conditions. So, like, maybe as the condition says you must be online 6 days a week. And on there it'll say active, must be 6 days a week. If you've logged into that game, which we can detect, of course, 6 days a week, then if they try to cancel it at the end of it, well, we'll say, well, you can't do that within the minimum term, because the minimum term says unless they don't log in 6 days a week, they can't keep the account for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, which gives you protection as a scholar, but it also, like, I mean, it really is. It's a scholarship protection, because we know some of their managers can be a little bit iffy. We know some of them, like, some of the managers are actually not owners of the accounts. They're actually managers for the person who owns the account. And then managers end up taking your money, which is not fair. That happens all too often in Axie Infinity. Hey, I've got an account. I've got a, God Mech account. I've got a God Plant Mod. I've got a Reptile Beast, And you go take it. You work for 30 days. They say, sorry, your MMR wasn't high enough. And they take whatever you've earned in SLP. That's not fair. We don't want that happening, so we're going to override that by taking that ability away from them. As a manager, you get to set the rate, and you know that you're going to get 50% or 70% or whatever you've set. You're guaranteed to get that minus or kind of handling fee, which again is 2.5% from each party, or 5% if it's 100% to the scholar or the manager. So basically, we will manage it all for you, ensuring you as a scholar that you're definitely going to get paid, but also ensuring to the manager that they have a scholar for that set term. And if you actually revoke it or don't log in and don't kind of adhere to the conditions set, then we will automatically give them an ability to cancel it. So there's no kind of, oh, well, I was logged on. We can tell you, were you logged on? There was a green tick there. You were logged on.
Yeah, exactly. Do old NFTs has the same earning potential and benefit as the new minted NFTs? Yes, it's gonna be the same. All of our NFTs is gonna be the same. For the character NFTs, you can earn money from it. Just like the newly released one. Right now we are actually doing a deal, and we've decreased the price of our NFTs from $70 to $55. And when you buy 3, you will get 1 for free. So it's gonna be sent into your wallet address automatically. So If you guys want to support the project more, make sure to participate on our IGO event right now and get that free NFT if you decided to purchase 3 NFTs. So yeah.
Any more questions? Questions?
Burning mechanism of your spaceship game. So as we mentioned about fusing the NFTs, when you fuse the NFTs, the level 1, 2, 3 spaceships or the level 1, 2, 3 utilities and companions and all that, it'll get burnt straight away to a burn address. And for our token utility, for the burning mechanism for that, when you buy our spaceship, a percentage of that will also be burnt out of circulation, and other things that we'll announce that we'll mention that on our updated pitch deck and Git book as well. Okay, I think that's pretty much it, to be honest. We've answered all of the questions that needs to be answered, and we've talked about everything that needed to say. Any more question, guys?
We've got something in DefVerse here. Says, can I get a ticket at DefVerse? Ticket for what, Peter? Peter Joe? You've asked for a ticket, but I don't know what you're asking a ticket for. Like, what type of ticket?
Ticket to Philippines.
Ticket to England, guys. We'll start doing immigration. Okay? Come join us in Gaming House in England. It's located in a lovely little village just west of Newcastle. Come meet the founder.
By the way, if you decided to buy 3, I will announce a form that you can input your purchases there, and then we'll send you we'll verify obviously if you did purchase 3 within this time of our AMA, and then we'll just send you 1 for free. It's gonna be randomized as well, and you'll receive it random. So
yeah, please, guys, if you've already bought things before now, don't message and say, hey, I want my free NFT. That's not what we're saying here. You don't get a free one because you've bought before now. This is something going forward because we're addressing the bearish market. We're addressing the current situation of the crypto. Plus, right now, we're essentially raising funds to improve the speed of the development. Not from me, because essentially I just work anyway. But when it comes to our external, our animators, our artists, these guys still need paying. So obviously this is why we've reduced the price, and yeah, I mean, it's going to be like this for the foreseeable future anyway. But still, you just remember, guys, you are supporting that. That's what them funds are for.
It's for the best intention for the project. It's for you guys, for the old holders. We are keeping the project alive, and at the moment, the development and everything is it's good. So when the bullish market is, when it's coming, we are prepared. We are better prepared for that, and we have the game ready and everything. And it's just basically marketing from there on, to gain more interest from people. So yeah, that's a good strategy for our side, for DefVerse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, checking everything. I believe that is everything. Give me Telegram quickly. Have we got anything? Wait, how to be eligible for this again? No, that was ages ago by Arthur. Greetings, Bitcoin holders.
I think that's pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's everything. We're done. Right, well, wrapping up, guys. Just want to say thank you again to the OG investors who still stick around with us. Thank you very much to you guys from the Park PH who've come across and shown some support. We will be doing our development streams over the next, every day anyway. But we'll be in the Park PH, chilling, and on DefVerse live. Doing some kind of development updates. You'll get to see sneak previews. You might even get to see me implementing the new stuff that we're going to show on the AMA next week. So if you are about there, you might get a little advanced preview. But with regards to the AMA, we'll have an AMA again same time next week, guys, at 12 p.m. on Wednesday the 8th. That'll be 7 p.m. Filipino time, where we hopefully give you an introduction or a quick preview of our new particle systems, our new shields and bullets, hopefully, and then we'll see what else. Maybe we'll get the UI done by then as well. But other than that, that's all from me. Yeah, so thank you very much from me and Chico.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for all the interest that for all the questions. I hope we answered everything. for this AMA. So I'll see you guys in Discord and Telegram. You know, you can, if you have any questions that's left, then just feel free to, you know, type it in the chat and we'll answer it on our social media. Thank you guys.
Super.
Thanks for the support. Goodbye.
We'll see you in the next AMA. Adios.
Bye bye.